And this here is the 1969 Camaro Z28. Welcome back to Rolling Stonks. My name is CJ, and today we are at my friend Barry's house here, and he's got a couple really sweet rides. 2003 Mazda Miata. Hi, buddy. Oh man, she sounds good. She purrs. These cars are awesome. He says it drives like a go-kart, and people autocross these all the time, and they do great. Got some Anke racing wheels on there.
I just got those.
What did it have on it before? The stock wheels?
No, I put cozy wheels on it. Super light. They're like 12 pounds a piece.
Oh, wow.
These are, I think, 12 and a half pounds a piece.
Why did you swap them?
I hit a big pothole.
Oh, and damaged one, huh?
Yep, two.
Oh. Little racing exhaust tips.
Dual exhaust for a 4-cylinder.
Dual exhaust.
Little overkill.
There she is. Looks like every other Mazda Miata engine I've ever seen.
Except this one's clean.
True.
40,000 miles.
You can tell Barry takes really good care of his things. See, I'm used to seeing him with a little spinny boy right about thereabouts.
Yeah. Would be nice to have.
Well, what are you waiting for?
California emission standards.
All right, we're gonna take a ride in the Miata and then wake up the beast, as he calls it, which is that right there. And the eagle eyes among you can probably already tell what it is based on that silhouette. Her real name is Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, her car has to have a name.
Okay.
And her name is Sleeping Beauty because that's pretty much what she does all the time. She sleeps.
Okay. Just like every dragon, though. When she wakes up, she breathes fire. So is this your daily driver, or? Nice.
This is my economy car.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, it doesn't get that good of mileage.
Really? What do you think it
It
gets?
gets about 25 to 29.
That is surprisingly low for a tiny little car.
It doesn't weigh anything. It's got a 1.8 liter double overhead cam with variable valve timing.
What kind of power you think it puts out?
150 horsepower.
Hey, that's actually not bad. That engine sounds healthy. This thing is great.
Brand new. I dynamatted the whole inside. So it makes it a lot quieter.
Oh, yeah.
These things are so light and so teeny that you get a lot of road noise.
Uh-huh.
The dynamat pretty much takes it all away. The other thing that's really nice about this car for me, because I'm small, is you can put your arm on the door.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the other little cars today, you're like way up here.
Yup.
Because they have the big tall doors. These have the little short doors.
Yup.
So it actually fits.
Can do the old classic arm here and hand here deal.
So it's kind of like driving a go-kart. It doesn't do anything great, but it doesn't do anything wrong. In other words, there's cars with more power, there's cars that handle better, there's cars that ride better, but if you want a car that's just fun to drive, cut up the road, it's great.
Yeah, I know that my racer friends up north, they swear by these cars.
If I'm going to commute, why not commute with something fun?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's fun to drive.
Oh, I'll bet. Handles pretty good, huh?
Oh, it's just like a go-kart.
Toss it around.
There's no weight to it. I mean, you throw it into a corner and it just, you don't get any of the hesitation to slide into a corner. There's no sliding. It just cuts through it.
So it's a little canyon carver, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So did you want the auto, or would you have preferred a manual?
So in Southern California, a manual can be a real pain in the butt if you're using it for an everyday driver. And at the time, I wasn't looking for a race car. I was looking for a commuter car. Like with the Corvette, one day coming from LA, I must have pushed the clutch in 1,000 times.
I'm guessing those are not light clutches. I drove my friend's Z06 once, and I remember it was not a light clutch.
No. And so, I mean, this is just a play car. It's kind of like fun to drive. You don't have to worry about, and you get this little button here to change the shift points. So you get high performance mode. I'm kidding, but it does give you more performance. It changes the shift points.
Really? It's like a sport mode for the transmission?
Yeah, it just changes
that's
the
cool.
shift points in the automatic.
Gives you a little bit more RPM headroom.
So it makes you feel like you've got a manual even though you don't.
What does that do?
What?
That
Oh,
key?
that's the key to shut off the passenger airbag.
Okay, you need a key for that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Got the window switches in the middle here.
Yep. You have the little mini speakers here and the big speakers down there.
Oh yeah. Your tweeters in your mid-range. Multi-function audio system.
Oh yeah, CD player big time.
This is one of my favorite driving songs right here. And this here is the 1969 Camaro Z28. One of the coolest cars on the planet, in my opinion. Man, this thing is so clean. And Barry has rebuilt this thing up from the ground up. How many times? Twice, you said?
Well, 3 times total. But
Three
the
times.
first time was the one that counted them. The rebuilds twice.
Okay.
I mean, just because it sits, it gets, 30 and need to get refreshed.
Sleeping Beauty, he says. It's not going to be asleep for much longer, though. Is that how you know it's got oil in it, if there's oil on the boxes?
No, I just got a nice storage spot.
Okay. Gosh, even the wheels on this thing. Are these the stock wheels?
Yeah.
Man, they're so clean. It's hard to believe that this thing is 55 years old. That is a good looking lady for 55. This is all original. Matching numbers, original Z28, 302 with the cowl induction hood. She is just gorgeous. Of course, you've got the fun part right there. Oh man, this thing is like a time capsule. The paint on it is just beautiful. So wait, if this car is Sleeping Beauty, what's the Miata's name?
Zoom zoom.
Not a drop of oil to be found anywhere under this car.
No.
Freshly painted. Like an anti-rust coating you've got on the... This thing's like ready for a museum.
I spent more time underneath it than on top of it.
The orange oil pan, that's so cool.
That's that Pour 15 paint on the engine.
So how old were you when you got this?
28.
Hell of a car to be driving around at 28. Did you just terrorize people with this thing or what?
No.
No? You drove it like a grandma?
No. My boss at Chrysler had one that he used to drag race. He took me one day to the track and we spent some time in his car. And it was the little 302 motor. I thought, well, I had a 350 Impala at the time. And I thought I was pretty neat stuff because I had rebuilt that 350 to where it was probably, 350 horsepower. And he had this little 302 and it's only rated at 290 horsepower. And how could it ever compete with my 350? He gave me a lesson in small block Chevys.
Did you guys race?
No, we didn't even have to. On the quarter mile, we made like 12 passes in his 69 Z28, and I said, I got to get me one of those.
Wow. What was he running?
He was running about 10 and a half.
Wow.
The cool part was, I'd never heard a small block sound like this. It sounds like Richard Petty coming out of turn 3.
What does it rev to?
7. My 350 would run out of breath at about 4,800. And so what happens is you wind the thing up, and by the time you get it back down, you create a lot of work. The bad news is it's not like a big block. Big blocks have all kinds of torque in the bottom end. This thing doesn't wake up until it's over 3 grand. If you drive it under 3 grand, you think you got a grandma's car. 4,000 RPM. I got something here from 4,000 to 6,000. It's like, holy crap.
Putting the battery in, that's how you know she's coming to life. How long has it been since you started it?
July.
Oh, okay. It'll be good to get the oil flowing through her again.
Oh yeah, you don't want to leave them sit for times.
No, seals do not like that. So you painted this yourself too, right?
Oh, I did everything.
Wow. Gigantic air filter.
There's a very small 850 Holly underneath it. So it came with a side post battery. And I actually have the original side post battery. Because I've had this car for a long time, and I had an Impala before this, 69 Impala, and this is head and shoulders above that, performance-wise. You get in, you drive it, you yank on the shifter 3 or 4 times, and you feel like you're 16 again. That's like the best feeling in the world.
So it really is a time capsule.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it takes you back. As soon as you hear it start, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that sound. When I first rebuilt the motor, and I put, at the time, just about every dime I had into the motor, because I bought the car and supposedly it had never been touched. Well, I got it home and we started to look at it, and they had spun a bearing in the crankshaft.
Oh.
So they had turned.
Wow.
They had turned the crank. The crank was turned 30 thousandths over, or turned 30 thousandths down. So it had oversized crank bearing, journal bearings in it, and I wanted a standard crank. So the guy that was helping me build the motor, we looked for 3 or 4 months to find an original crankshaft. And up in Fremont, California, we found a guy who raced these, drag raced them, and he had 6 crankshafts sitting on a shelf. So I bought 3 of them, and I took them to my machinist, and we mic'd them, and we picked the best of the 3, and then I sold the other 2, stupidly. I don't even know if they exist anymore, and if they do, you'd pay stupid money for them. And we rebuilt the motor. It's 11.5 to 1, which is what they came with. 11.5 to 1 compression. And it's got the double roller cam in it. Solid lifters still, so you get the sound of solid lifters, which some people like, some people don't like, but that's what they were. Cowl induction hood. This is the relay for the door. This is the wire for the door. And on the firewall, there's a switch that when you press the pedal, it hits the switch on the firewall to actuate the door.
Oh,
when you push the pedal all the way down, the little door flops open and you hear it go, ooh. And I did cheat. This is a stock GM lid, but the actual cowl hood cars came with a painted top rather than the chrome top. And I like the chrome top better, so I went with the chrome top.
And you just put the sticker on it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, they got all that stuff with reproduction.
That air filter is very large diameter. That's just a regular dry filter too, huh? No oil down there?
No, I didn't put my K&N in it. It's just like they came that way.
Looks like it was just picked up at the store.
Okay.
Ooh. The moment we've all been waiting for.
Well, she's going to rattle and cough and complain and spit.
Perfect. She's just letting you know she wants you to drive her more. What is that?
That is the warning sound that you left the key in the ignition.
First. Oh, she's good to go, dude. This thing is so sick. Oh, she's going back to sleep. Sleeping Beauty said, I want to take another nap.
Hey, that's a pretty good looking car.
Yeah, kind of.
That's a hot one.
Yeah, she was spitting a little bit.
Oh yeah, because it sits and so you get the gasoline runs down the intake into the cylinders. So
Oh,
we gotta go drive it for a little bit.
there you go.
Cobwebs out of it. Then it'll sound good.
Got some BF Goodrich radials on here too, huh?
Yeah. So it originally came with red line Firestones, and you can still get those. The problem is they're like $300 a pop. And back in the day, this is what I ran. So for me, this is more original than original. So
There you
it's one
go.
of the things that's not original on the cars. It's got the wrong tires on it.
But original to you.
Original to me, that's what people did back then.
So have you ever done any racing with it or anything like that, or just daily drive it?
You know, quarter mile.
How fast does she run?
I was doing about 109, 108 in third gear.
You were coming out the quarter mile in third gear?
Yeah.
Just ripping.
7,000 RPM. Before it warms up, it doesn't function right. You got to get the gases warmed up in it to kind of make it mellow out. So we'll go for a ride, and at first it's going to complain and buck and snort, and then it'll smooth out.
We got the Barry engineering that's gone into the rebuild, so she'll be all right. Oh wow, those fog lights down there?
Those are your turn signals, my friend, because in the racing, that's what they did, was they put fog lights down there. They replaced them.
Oh.
You don't need them on the track. There, now she'll glisten in the sun.
Oh yeah, literally. Look at that shine.
And that paint is 6 years old.
The paint?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've had it repainted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Painted.
You painted this? No way.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a hell of a paint job.
Yeah. Did all the body work, which there wasn't really much of. It was filling parking lot vents more than anything else.
Oh, yeah, well, we've all got our share of those.
And then there was some major stuff going on here in the seams when they first manufactured it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do a really good job in this area, so I had to work there.
You've got some skill.
The good part is that it's lasting.
Yeah, it has.
You can tell it's old, and that you get a little shrinkage in the paint because the clear. So it's, you know, shot with color sanded, and then clear coated, and then sanded.
Okay.
So that's why it gets so glossy and nice.
Oh, that door feels so good. Oh my gosh.
Back in '69, they hadn't put retractable seatbelts in cars yet.
Okay.
So you have two seatbelts.
Oh, that's fun.
You have a lap belt, and you have a shoulder belt.
Okay.
So you have,
Wow, there's a slot for the seat belts to fit into.
so you get,
How does it come out of there? Is it just pull?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so you get a seatbelt and you get a shoulder belt.
Oh, okay. And they just hang out up here in these little... Boy, even your headliner looks brand new.
That is the original headliner.
Really?
Yep.
That is in incredibly good condition for a headliner.
It's original seats.
My
The dash pad is not original.
Oh, this thing here?
The dash pad, they all kind of
The sun kind of kills them.
Yep. A lot of the '69 Camaros Z28s came with 8 grand tax.
Okay.
Many of them came with 7 grand tax.
Okay.
Mine came with a 7 grand tax.
Mhm.
Everybody says, oh, you should have an 8 grand tax. No, I got a 7 grand tax because that's what it came with.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's a production thing that went on. I have the clock option.
There she is.
And the original AM only radio.
There you go.
Which I fixed and it works.
Nice. Wow, you took that thing apart and got her working again. Huh?
Mm-hmm. And I had to rebuild the speaker, did all of that.
Oh, I love these center gauges. These are so classic here. Got the original owner's manual.
This is the original manual.
Oh my god.
And here is...
Oh, for a Nova too, and Chevelle.
Here you go.
No way.
Yeah.
That's the freaking sales sticker?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe the purchasing power of your dollar has gone down, this car costs $4,005.15.
And the options are, center console was an option. The special instrumentation, positive traction was an option with a 410 axle. 410 axle ratio, power disc brakes,
Nice.
4-speed close ratio transmission, AM push button radio, special ducted hood,
Okay.
air spoiler equipment, special performance equipment. This was the Z28 option, which was all of $473. And the chambered exhaust system was all of like $15. The standard black vinyl trim, they gave you that for free.
Oh, that's so nice of them.
And the color, so there you go.
77 Le Mans Blue.
With Can-Am white stripes.
Nice. Oh, man. That thing sounds so crazy. It sounds pretty rowdy in here.
And that's all out the back.
First ride in the Z28. It's gonna bark a little bit. This thing is so cool.
Now it's starting to run.
Does this just take like 91 octane? Oh, buddy! Oh, that sounds so good. Boy, it actually drives really nice. Suspension is really smooth.
So these came with 4-leaf springs rather than 3. Different springs in the front.
Is that independent front suspension?
Yeah, it's control arm standard GM
Okay.
suspension. That's probably one of the weakest points of the car.
Oh, really? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, man.
Most different than a 350.
She kind of smells like a race car.
It's because of all the stuff we put in the gas.
Do you put, like, gas preserver in when you leave it sit?
You got octane booster, you got stabilizer, you got fuel catalyst.
Yep. Broke the tires loose a little bit.
Let's see, there's no low end torque. You gotta rev it to get it. So if you really want to launch it, you take it up to about $4 or $5 grand and then let it go.
Oh. Oh, man. Boy, she just puts you back in your seat on those shifts.
And that's not foreign at all.
Would it just spin the tires if you floored it?
No,
Does this have any kind of traction control or?
it's got posi, that's it. It's not traction control. What it does is if one wheel slips in the back, the other wheel will grab, and then they'll both grab.
Oh, okay.
So the whole thing with posi is if you don't have it, you can drop the clutch and you leave one track.
The one wheel peel.
The one wheel peel. This will leave 2.
Yeah, you could daily drive this, no problem. As long as you don't go through any parking
And
garages.
surging right now is probably because of the gas.
Oh yeah, old crappy gas.
That, and I probably need to clean the carburetor.
Oh, just take her on the highway and do an Italian tune.
It needs, really.
Wow, it's taking a while to warm up.
That's a whole nother story.
Thermostat issue? What's that?
When I rebuilt the radiator, I did a tri-flow, so you block the radiator, so the fluid runs through the radiator 3 times before it comes out.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it runs across, and then up. What it does is it improves the cooling dramatically.
Clearly. Quite dramatically. We've been running this to the point where it would be a normal operating temperature with a normal setup, I imagine. And it's not even a quarter of the way. It just went down a little bit.
Yeah. You get sick of going to car shows and sitting and idling and getting hot.
Oh, yeah.
So I fixed it.
So wouldn't it normally get to operating temperature and then let the water come through?
Yes. And I've got a low temperature thermostat in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, dude, she cruises. No problem. Even after sitting, you'd kind of expect to feel some like flat spotting on the tires or something. You really don't feel that at all. How do you feel when you drive this?
Like I'm 16.
I'll bet you when you were 28, you were a lot more rowdy with it, huh? Oh yeah, she's idling good now.
She just needs to get run.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but we don't want to hit it. Have you ever seen the movie Better Off Dead? It's a John Cusack movie, like 80s rom-com. Pretty funny movie, but aside from that, his main car is a black 67 RSSS. And in the beginning of the movie, it's broken down and in a driveway under a cover, and halfway through the movie, the girl next door comes over and she fixes the car for him. Of course, the next scene is this, perfectly polished, all the chrome is gleaming, car backs out of the driveway with some Muddy Waters Manish Boy music playing. And that's what I think about when I think about this car. It's just such like a Manish Boy car. Like, you may be a man, but when you get in this car, you are a boy. A boy with one of the nicest toys in town. There we go. Battery. Oh yeah, dude, she moves.
See, now it's running good.
Yeah, she is purring. That's crazy. The temperature's still so low. Really good oil pressure. Yeah. This is amazing, man. What an experience. What kind of horsepower do you think these engines could take?
Oh, small block Chevy?
Yeah.
400 horsepower easy.
Okay.
Yeah, not a problem.
Which is about what you got in here?
Yeah. The big thing
You're
is,
kind of pushing the limits though, huh?
well, that's what it did. I mean, it was rated at 290 horsepower from the factory.
Oh,
Because they didn't want to publish numbers over 400.
really? Oh, that's interesting.
This was a race car, this little motor.
So they took a factory-rated 290 horsepower motor and gave it to you and said, "Here you go, it's got 400 horsepower." I like that.
Because this motor, they had to have so many in production to be able to use it for the Trans Am racing.
Oh, that's right.
And so that was the reason why they sold the Z28 to kids.
To kids. Oh my God, it's a lot of power for a kid to have without nannies.
Well, back then it was only rich kids that would buy a brand new one.
Oh yeah, for
$4,000
crazy that $4,000 was like that much. Like it could buy you this much car.
10 grand would buy you a house.
Jeez. And she's back in her home. Oh yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much for taking me on a ride.
There you
That was
go.
really special, man. Really
Better
cool.
than fishing?
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy this stuff. This and music are my two top things.
Okay.
Fishing's fun, but I wouldn't say it's like one of my top hobbies. Check this out. This car was in a magazine. What magazine is this?
This was Corvette Auto Enthusiast.
Blue Beauty. So she was Blue Beauty before she was Sleeping Beauty,
And
huh?
it was in this one.
Wow. This is a magazine cover car, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. I'd way rather have that than that. That was so cool getting to ride in Barry's 1969 Chevy Camaro Z28. I hope you guys enjoyed the ride almost as much as I did. If you did and you like content like this on cars like this that you don't get to sit in every day, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Peace out and rock on.